Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. What is the best type of silver? Which type of silver will you profit the most from? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. There is so many different types of silver. There's so many different types of silver out in the precious metals world. So it can be a little tricky, especially when you're a beginner trying to figure out which type suits you best. So by the end of this video, you should have a better understanding on the direction you want to go, because trust me, certain types of silver will fit your strategy, your silver stacking strategy, better than others. Silver isn't just silver. There's many different types, and that's what we're going to try to break down in today's video to help you guys and gals out. So with that said, make sure to smash that like button. Smash that like button. 400 like goal. I know we can get that. We've been killing the like goal lately. Also, make sure you're subscribed. I post daily videos, and you definitely want to stay subscribed because I have some very good content coming up in the future. So let's jump into the video, and let's start with the new stacker, because a lot of people are new on this channel. By the way, in the comment section, let me know how long you've been stacking. I'm curious. Let me know. Has it been 6 months? Has it been a year? Has it been 10 years? Let me know. I'm curious what the majority of my audience is. That can also help gauge the type of content I make, whether I'm talking to very, very, very beginner stackers or people that have been stacking for about a year or so and just want to sharpen their game up. Who knows? I want to know. So let me know. Now, if you are a beginner stacker, a newbie, you want to focus on one type of silver, and that is bullion. This motto is very important. Buy as much silver as you can for as cheap as possible. You want to accumulate as much silver as you can for as cheap as possible. That means going to JM Bullion and buying the 10-ounce starter kit where you get 10 ounces of silver at spot price. That means going to your local coin shop, digging through the generic bin, trying to get the best prices. You want to stack as much silver for as cheap as you can. That means building a foundation. Every stacker needs to have a foundation built underneath their feet before they start branching out. And this is perfect because when you're a beginner, you really don't understand the markets of these other types of coins anyways. So it's perfect to start off buying bullion, because by the time you do build a nice stack, then you're pretty much experienced enough to start looking into other types of options you have. Now, what are some of these other options? Let's say you've been stacking silver for about a year or so. You have a couple 100 ounces of silver, and now you want to branch off. Now you want to diverse off into something, that will protect yourself from spot price. Because let me put it this way. American Eagles are great, they're great and all, but if spot price stays the same, let's say spot price is $17 when you buy your American Eagle. In 30 years, if spot price is still $17, that American Eagle is still only worth $17. You haven't made a penny off of that coin, even though you've held it for 30 years. That's why there's another type of silver you also need to be buying. This is high premium silver, or they also call it semi-numismatic. These coins appreciate regardless of what spot price does. So if you're buying pandas, if you're buying kookaburras, and let's say you buy a panda for $29 or $35 nowadays, in 30 years that coin will probably be worth a couple $100. I mean, go back 30 years and look what the pandas are selling from the 1980s, 1990s. Those pandas are pricey, a couple $100. So your American Eagle will have literally stayed the same price because it's pegged to spot price, but your pandas will hit a nice profit. Now, it is nice to diversify, and I always push diversification, but there is a way to do it. You don't want to start off as a beginner buying pandas. Trust me, I started doing this. I talk about, and the funniest part is you can literally see me doing it because I have a YouTube channel, so my whole stacking journey is very public. You could go back to the beginning of my videos and literally watch myself transform into strictly high premium silver. I got obsessed with it. All my unboxings were pandas, kookaburras, all the high premium stuff. I wasn't buying any American Eagles. I was buying everything that costed more money. Now, I had a plan, but I should have focused more on bullion as a beginner. Nowadays, I can do that, right? It's fine. But as a beginner, I definitely should have built a stronger bullion stack because nowadays, now I have to focus more on bullion. See, I did it backwards. Usually you focus on bullion, then you get into your high premium stuff. I focused so much on high premium stuff, now I'm kind of buying bullion just to build my foundation, which is fine because I caught myself. But if a lot of people don't catch themselves, it's so easy to get distracted in the precious metals world because there's so many options, there's so many ways to go. Now let's jump into some other types of silver. Now, not only is there high premium silver, or aka semi-numismatic silver, there's also numismatic silver. There's also numismatic, and they call high premium silver semi-numismatic silver because it has the benefits of both. It is sold for, pandas are sold for their metal content, but there's also a premium attached, so there's a high premium. And it's also semi-numismatic because not only is it sold for its metal content, there's some collector value in the coin as well. So it's between bullion and numismatics. Numismatics, those coins are not sold for their metal content whatsoever. They're strictly valued on the type of coin it is, whether it's an older American coin, whether this coin has history or whatever the case is. Numismatics aren't sold for their metal content whatsoever. So you can stack these, but that's a very tricky market. It's a much smaller market. You got to understand the markets of these coins. You're going to be paying a couple $1,000 for each of these coins, and it's very specific. Most silver stackers aren't numismatic stackers. Those people are coin collectors that will spend thousands of dollars on a specific coin, go to the coin show, try to find it. It's a very specific type of investment. People do in the silver stacking world come across numismatics just as more of buying what you like. Maybe it's an old coin that you like, that you want to collect. But when it comes down to it, most stackers, especially you and I, are going to be sticking to semi-numismatic and bullion types of silver. Now, there is junk silver, which can also fall under the semi-numismatic or numismatic type of silver. Junk silver, aka constitutional silver, is very, very, very good to stack. It's a perfect addition to your silver stack. Now, why is that, Silver Slayer? Well, let me tell you why. So, junk silver has a unique advantage that no other silver does. They stopped making it. They don't make junk silver anymore. The silver standard isn't in play anymore. So, in 1964, that was the last you've ever seen those coins being minted. So, they're becoming more rare. Every single year, those junk silver coins are becoming more rare, and they're going to keep growing numismatic value. And imagine in 30, 40, 50 years from now, how rare those coins are going to be and how much they're going to be. Just like Morgans. Morgans stopped being minted in 1921, and now Morgans have more of a numismatic value. Junk silver is going to be doing the same thing. Your walking liberties, your Mercury dimes, your Barber dollars, those coins are going to start going up in price simply because of how rare they're becoming, because of stackers holding them or melting them down. So you definitely want junk silver for that. It's for that alone, but also it's perfect for fractional silver. Fractional silver, if you're buying generic fractionals on APMEX, they're very costly because they still have to stamp that 1/4 or 1/10 ounce round. Junk silver is like a Mercury dime, is just the same as a 1/10 ounce round, but it also has the benefits of that come with constitutional silver as well. So it's a win-win situation, and they're cheaper. So that's definitely the move. So junk silver is definitely a plus. Now we can talk about poured silver, because poured silver is definitely a lot of people like poured silver. I liked poured silver in the beginning. That was my first choice. I loved it. That was more of me buying silver because I liked the way it looked more than it was as an investment. Poured silver is more of an artistic, characteristic type of silver. It shows so much character, especially the pour lines, the details. There's a very low mintage because they're handmade, and it really brings a new type of fun way to look at precious metals stacking. Now, not to say that it's the best investment, because a lot of times, since they're handmade, they might be a little pricier. Like a 5 ounce hand poured, or poured silver bar might go for a little more than a cast 5 ounce bar or 5 ounces of coins, like American Eagles. But you definitely will have a much more beautiful, enjoyable piece. Now, I always say buy what you like regardless, but you might have to pay the extra pretty penny. Now, it can work in favor, because look at some of the Geiger bars that were made several years ago. It's almost like, since they're so unique and so artistic, sometimes some of them do explode, and they are worth much more than any type of panda is going to be. So you can get lucky with that, but don't place all your money, or don't bet on that, because that just happens on rare occasions from companies that usually go out of business, so you can't find them anywhere anyways. Now, there's also bars. Now, you guys know, if you've been a long time viewer of mine, I'm not too fond of bars for one reason, especially bars that are over 10 ounces. Because let's say you have a whole bunch of 20-ounce kilo bars. Now, think about if silver price does go up to like $100, $150. Who's going to be able to afford a 20-ounce bar? That bar is going to be so expensive, you've lowered your potential customer base to a very small amount of people. Your stack isn't liquid. The whole point of silver stacking is to build a very liquid stack, an easily sellable stack. And buying 20-ounce bars, it's going to be hard to get off. It's going to be hard to get off. You're going to have to find the richest of the rich people, and it's just not my idea of silver stacking. If you like the way they feel or whatever, go for it. But I'm just letting you know, it's going to be harder to sell those as compared to a 1-ounce coin, where everyone can afford that. So, just something to think about. Now, you can see that depending on the type of stacker you are, it's going to work in your favor. And like this. Someone who's planning to only buy silver or stack silver for a couple of years is going to be buying different types of silver than someone like me, who isn't planning on selling for 20, 30 years, right? If you're only stacking for 3, 4, 5 years, you don't want to be buying American Eagles, you don't want to be buying Bullion, because the chance of that coin or of spot price rising in 3 to 5 years isn't very much. But your coins like pandas could definitely double, triple in price within the next 5, 6 years. So you would focus more on high premium silver. Whereas me, in 30 years, spot price is going to be a lot different. So I might as well lower my dollar per ounce average and buy mostly bullion. I could still buy coins like pandas, etc., because those will be a lot more. But the whole majority of my stack, or a good portion of my stack, should be around bullion to really, buy as much silver for as cheap as possible, right? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's no wrong way to buy silver. There's no wrong way to buy silver, but there are smarter, right, and there's more profitable ways. Let's put it that way. So anyways, if you thought this video was educational, informational, or at least just entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. In the comments down below, let me know how long you've been stacking silver. I'm so curious. I'm really curious, because this will definitely help me gauge on what type of content I make. Because if most of you guys are stacking for 5, 6 years, I don't need to make videos like this. But I have a feeling, since silver is gaining more attraction, more attention, there's a lot of new eyes coming in, and I definitely want to help people not make the same mistakes that I made, because it can be costly. So anyways, this was Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.